The chat is telling me that Vegeta lost to Frieza.
Right. Right. Nakatani doesn't strike me as an evil purple guy.
Yeah,
He's very nice. Maybe he is Goku.
maybe.
Maybe. Maybe he's the lower class Saiyan Kakarot. Maybe yeah.
Yeah.
And Naoya Inoue is the warrior elite who can't lose to low level trash.
That's right, trash. That's right. He pretty much said that. He pretty much said, "I can't lose
Vegeta,
to
man.
someone like Junto Nakatani."
He's Vegeta.
Yeah,
He's the king of all Japanese fighters.
that's right.
The prince of all Japanese.
That's right. How do you feel, Sean? You good today?
I'm good, man. Just want to get a good seat. I got the Salvador
Got the Salvador Sanchez shirt on.
And after a week of sitting back and observing, I think I know the story of this week now. So,
What do you feel the story of this week is?
okay, so, and I will say this on my channel after the weigh-in.
Okay.
I think it's funny. I asked Julio Cesar Chavez yesterday about
Went viral.
is Benavidez really Mexican? And he actually gave a much more favorable answer than people looking to run with the narrative that he is not, because he's mixed with a little bit of Ecuadorian and Dominican. He's born here in the United States. When in actuality, my wife, who's Mexican, she translated to me that he says, "I hope he can do it. He deserves it." But the truth is, respectfully, nobody knows him in Mexico.
Yeah.
Right. So that brings us to this occasion, right? And he wasn't able to get Canelo, but he was able to get the date. And this is his consolation prize against a Mexican champion. Not a guy that he's an underdog to, but a guy he is the smaller man to.
And someone who's really credible as well.
Right. And so Chavez, he may, even if you want to run with that Chavez feels he's not really a Mexican, Julio Cesar Chavez walked out Fernando Vargas to the ring against Oscar De La Hoya. What's up, Brian? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah.
And so that means by Chavez's own admission through his own actions in that fight in 2002 against Oscar, a Mexican-American can get over with real Mexicans. And my wife even said what's funny about it, and both of her parents are from Mexico. She was born in Los Angeles like Oscar. And she's like, if you go, okay, I'm not Mexican, then they go, what do you mean? You're Mexican? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But then if you go, I'm Mexican, you're not
no,
Mexican.
you're not. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I say all that to say this. It doesn't matter for Benavidez if they ever verbally say, you're one of us. You're a real Mexican. It doesn't matter. They never said that about Oscar De La Hoya.
They still came out and bought his fights and
that's all
bought
that
tickets
matters.
and supported him.
All that matters is that, what's up, Chris?
Hi, Chris.
Is that when you fight, they pay attention. Whether it's buying the pay-per-view, whether it's getting a ticket, it doesn't matter whether they verbally ever acknowledge you. The actions speak louder than the words. So again, Oscar De La Hoya telling us yesterday, I'm a pocho, I'm a gringo, all that. He sold more revenue than any fighter from Mexico.
Correct.
And you can't tell me that some of that revenue wasn't derived from people
He had a
born in
McDonald's
Mexico.
endorsement deal.
Well, that's American.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like he was able to. The Mexican fans allowed him to be who he was in the sport. That's what I'm saying, to get things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as you stay in the winner's bracket, and here's what's interesting about this weekend. I can foresee a scenario where Benavidez takes a hit with the purists, with the hardcores, where he struggles in this fight. I definitely think he's going to win. I think he likes the air up here. You know what I mean? I think he likes the air up
the
here.
big lights, being the
it.
guy. They're coming out to see me.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to relinquish that. And I think if it comes down to a battle of will in this fight, which it might, then I think he's going to want it a little bit more, and he's going to step on the gas more than Gilberto Ramirez.
Especially because he's not talking about retirement.
That too, right. Yeah. So, sorry, I lost my train of
thought
for a minute.
You say he likes the air up here.
He likes the air up here, and what I could foresee is a scenario. And by the way, if you're a Mexican hardcore fan, that kind of overlaps, and this doesn't pertain to you. But I'm talking about regular Mexican boxing fans who aren't boxing degenerates like us and keep up with every part of the sport. I could foresee a scenario where Benavidez looks vulnerable, and in the words of purists, it looks a little exposed. So where people are saying, man, Jayo Pataya would beat his ass, and Bivol, when he goes back down to light heavyweight, is going to beat him. But I could see that stock going up with the Mexican and Mexican American public, because their first and foremost priority, as long as you win, is to see a fight that's actually entertaining. And I think this fight will be entertaining. So even if he wins with vulnerability, even if he doesn't blow Ramirez out of the water, but he gets the job done in an exciting night, then his stock's going to go up with them, even if it simultaneously takes a little bump with the purists, who a lot of them are waiting to give him a bump anyways.
That's okay, because a lot of the purists are like fickle and finicky sometimes. So get the casual fans.
Yeah, yep, and that's what I think the story of the night is. He the week is he couldn't get Canelo, but he got the date, and this is his consolation prize. It's a steep level down consolation prize. Like, Zurdo isn't some famous Mexican champion, but he is a Mexican champion from Mexico, and he is the bigger man. So, now I remember what I was going to say too. Is me and Brendan, we left out of the T-Mobile when Canelo beat Berlanga, right?
Oh yeah.
And the kind of Mexican fans I'm talking about, who just keep up with the stars and aren't crazy boxer degenerates like us, they thought they saw a great show. They thought Canelo Berlanga they were like, man, that Berlanga did
awesome.
good. What it was is it's not that they really thought Berlanga did good. It's that he did good enough to give them something of a show. And their guy won.
Yeah, so it was great.
Right.
It was a perfect storm.
Right. So to that point, if he comes out looking vulnerable and your real watchful eye boxing fans are saying, oh, he got exposed a little bit in this area and that area, all they're going to know is the guy that was advertised as the Mexican monster won. And it was exciting. A good fight.
And I like this guy, and I can't. When does he fight again?
Or even if they're not willing to admit they like the guy,
yeah,
they're going to watch him again. So this week is about tugging them along, even the begrudging Canelo psycho fans, even the ones that'll always hate him because of their loyalty lies with Canelo.
Yeah.
So that's what this week's about. Can he move the needle, however small or big, because this isn't the Canelo fight, toward it? And here's the thing. Last time I checked, the guy who has these dates is the motherfucking guy.
On boxing.
Whether that was Floyd or Canelo or Oscar or when Manny had it against Marquez, et cetera, et cetera. Last time I checked, the guy, Inoue last year. Inoue had this date last year because Canelo was in Saudi, and Inoue's the motherfucking guy. So David's not quite the motherfucking guy. This is his motherfucking guy.
But this is
opportunity arc.
It's a big step.
Yeah,
it's a huge step.
So that's the story of this week. The whole theme. I think the reason why. What's up, Spitbucket? I think. Yeah, thanks, bro.
Thank you.
I think the reason that clip with Chavez went viral is because it touches on the whole. It encapsulates the whole theme of this weekend. It's the 30th anniversary of when De La Hoya and Chavez fought. The name of the fucking documentary is La Guerra Civil, the Civil War. And it was a Chicano fighter against a fighter from Mexico.
Same thing, same scenario playing itself out here.
So when Chavez and I asked my mother-in-law, who's Chilanga, who's from Mexico City, I said, Mom, what did you think of it? What did you think of Chavez's quote? She went, 50-50. Meaning, I get what he's saying. Yeah, of course, he's not from Mexico. That touches on the cultural dynamic of the fight, that Mexicans are in my comments saying, oh, this is how we have it, bro. If we try to say we're American, we're not really American. We're Mexican. We try to say we're Mexican, we're not really Mexican. We're American. And guess what? That's some polarization. That's getting people to think and feel something. And I think that's why the Chavez quote had some resonance. And that's what put some fire in the pot for the whole dynamics of a fight like this. Not that Zurdo brings a whole lot of fire in the pot. Zurdo's here to be the supporting actor. And, and he may hurt Benavidez. He may drop Benavidez. I said before, Oscar said to start the week off, he has the better chin than Benavidez. But I think ultimately he will play his part as a supporting.
Huh? You don't think he has enough firepower, Benavidez? Zurdo.
I think he, and it's possible. He could. I think he has enough firepower to make some scary moments, to hurt Benavidez, to drop Benavidez, but I don't think Benavidez will be denied. I don't think he'll be.
Yeah, he seems very iron-willed, like just in everything he's doing and saying, and I mean, I remember being in the same media room, Sean, the first time I covered Benavidez live when he fought Vosdick and he was on that podium. This dude literally cried. He cried because he couldn't get a knockout
He says
against Vosdick.
He said he was crying because he had a death in his
He
family.
had death in his family.
Right, but I thought the same thing you did.
He meant like it meant so much to him to get a knockout for his fans, and when he didn't deliver it, he felt like he was genuinely disappointed to the point where he had tears. So that's to me that makes Benavidez special. It's not so much anything he does in the ring. I mean, although he's awesome in the ring. It's just the mentality that he comes to boxing with.
Yeah,
it's a throwback mentality.
He said something a couple weeks ago that I was almost kind of mad because I was like, I said this on Sean's show 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. He said I have the same birthday as Manny Pacquiao. He came up in the wild card while his brother would spar Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. His brother was supposed to become the superstar and should have become a star.
Correct.
Was an underachiever. But he basically said, in so many words, I'm a Pacquiao disciple. And remember, I said that about him years ago. I said, look, a lot of the guys, and this is no knock on either discipleship, which isn't a word, but a lot of the guys are under the Floyd Mayweather school of boxing.
Yeah.
Shakur, Tank, Devin, Keyshawn, etc., right? Benavidez is under the Manny Pacquiao school, which is, I want to be top 10 pound for pound, but I also want to be top 10 most exciting fighters.
I want to be box office.
There's the lineage of a Sugar Ray Leonard, a Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker, and then there's the lineage of
Chavez,
Julio Cesar Chavez,
Pacquiao.
the Roberto Duran, the Pacquiao, the Joe Frazier, the fighter that is willing to get hit and can win on the elite level, but is almost has as much priority in being offensive and being exciting as they do is winning. Whereas the other school is just about winning, and that's why 2 times out of 3, usually that school beats the other school. But the other school, the Pacquiao, Duran, etc. school, can sometimes leave behind more endearing and memorable moments in the eyes of many fans. So that's Benavidez. And just to let you know, it's not a Benavidez slurp fest. I do think the Canelo stuff has run its course. It's gotten old. And he goes, everybody keeps asking me about it. And it's like, yeah, but you always supply he's a pussy quote. They're going to ask again and again.
And now he's coming here. So it's gonna intensify that much more.
And I think Canelo's going to leave after Munguia. So this whole narrative, he's coming to watch me, I think, I could be wrong. Maybe he will stick around. Maybe there will be some interaction there. And if it does, that'll go viral.
That'd be amazing.
That'll overshadow the fight, actually. But I think I'm leaning towards Canelo's going to leave after Munguia. Because that ship has sailed. That fight lost its luster as soon as Canelo lost to Terrence Crawford. And the real fight is him and Dmitry Bivol. Here's just me, okay? What I would like to hear at this point, and the choir of Benavidez being ducked by Canelo was, I led the chorus, okay? Like from 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. I made Canelo frustratingly end press conferences over bugging him about David Benavidez. Canelo was always a professional about it. He professionally ducked him like a gentleman with me, the great Canelo Alvarez. I would love to hear David say something like, you know what? It's a shame. This is just my opinion. I think this would play well. You know, it's a shame I never got to fight Canelo. You guys all know I believe he did avoid me. But the truth is, I respect Canelo. He's a great fighter. I wanted the opportunity to take the torch from him. I believe I was very capable of doing so. But I've come to accept it's never going to happen.
It wasn't meant to be.
And so, how about this? How about Dmitry Bivol picks on a Mexican his own size? How about I want get back for the Mexican people to beat the fighter that Canelo couldn't beat? I want to beat Dmitry Bivol. And I think that would go away. But, you know, David's got to be himself. He wants to call him a fucking pussy.
If he did do that, that would go super viral.
Yeah.
All the Mexican pages on Instagram will post that.
They'd be like,
yeah.
Get
this guy.
So that's Bivol is the legacy fight right now, not Canelo.
Or Beterbiev.
Or Beterbiev, Send Beterbiev to retirement.
Yeah,
I mean, that's honestly what he should do at their ages. This isn't...
Like, if this fight was what it was 3 years ago. Or
if this is the Beterbiev that fought Joe Smith, Beterbiev is probably a slight favorite.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though I think Benavidez stylistically always had kind of
An advantage.
a good matchup against Beterbiev, but now at Beterbiev's age, into his 40s, that's a fight he's supposed to win. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think he would win. So, but Bivol is the
legacy fight.
He's
Yeah.
he's a real undisputed light heavyweight champ. He's one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time.
Beat Canelo.
That's the one right now. So, yeah, that's how I look at it. And God, I'm giving Brennan most of the video here.
Yeah, let me.
One of the, it's one thing that's disheartening for me, and it's a tale as old as time. And this is what I mean by he likes to air up here. I've seen this movie before. Fighters, their entourages swell. They get multiple publicists. They're less accessible than they once were. And that's, for someone in our position, a little disheartening, especially when you cover a guy on the rise.
As a prospect, yeah.
Right. And, but when I said, last time I checked, the guys who have this date, they're the guy, right? Crawford's entourage swelled. Pacquiao's entourage swelled. Mayweather's entourage swelled. Ali, that's part and parcel of becoming a star. And I do think Benavidez is becoming a star. Is he going to sell, have the gate Canelo would have at T-Mobile? Is he going to do the pay-per-view? No.
Or Cowboy Stadium. He's not going to do that.
But this week is about a step towards his arc in that.
And it's about boxing, too, finding its next potential superstar in the sport.
Yeah, or at least next legit star. I mean, he was on Stephen A. Smith this morning.
Yeah.
People... There's people that are casual fans that fuck with David Benavidez, but can he win over what's supposed to be his base? And that's what this fight is about. And again, they don't gotta verbally say it. Mexican people don't get down like that anymore. I know a lot of the Mexican fans that have fathers from Mexico. A lot of them don't tell you "I love you." They're not with the emotional sappy dappy.
No, they're not. They're not.
I am. I tell my son I love him every day.
I know. My Mexican father is Miguel Leo, and you know how he is. Like he's great. He's great. It wasn't until Angel knocked out Venado that he said I love you.
It wasn't until that day.
That day.
So, yeah. Oscar's dad would never say it. So they may never verbally go, he's chingon, he's all right with us. Well, even that is more Chicano slang, the chingon stuff. But, no, it's not. Mexicans from Mexico say it too. But all that matters is they watch the fight. They pay attention to it. And that's what this week's about, establishing that attention from that fan base.
There you go.
That's what I got.
All right, Sean.